and this here may be tough to you. Snack cake to me, yeah, more hostess. This been overdue forever. Asked me when it was dropping, said never. Should've made you cut the feta, but I designed it Freemason Margiela.
What's good, Shellitronnn here, the most woke, no joking. I'm back at again with a brand new video, and I'm gonna keep it a bold braid biscuit. I was wrong. Let that marinate right now. I was wrong, and I will be the first one to admit it. I had no idea. There was no thought in my mind. I was 100% sure that this was not going to happen. I even told people, just don't even think about this. I made assumptions based off of the exact opposite of this happening. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Panthers deciding to tender wide receiver Torrey Smith for this upcoming season. Now, as of right now, his contract is worth $5 million. None of that is guaranteed, but the cap hit is still at $5 million until, I guess, there's a restructure or there's some sort of like declaration of how much money he'll be making this year. I am not sure how much Torrey's getting paid this year. We'll have to wait and see. But I made a lot of very strong statements. I made a lot of guarantees. I said, with my chest, I said, Mr. Big Chest style, the Panthers are not going to pick up Torrey Smith's contract for next year, for a lot of different reasons. And from what I saw and from what I think a lot of Panthers fans saw from last year, that seemed to be the case. I mean, it felt like near the back half of the season, the team was just going away from Torrey Smith, and we were scheming him out of all these games to get Jarius Wright, Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, a lot more looks. I mean, I saw this online. In Torrey Smith's first 7 games before his injury, his snap counts were 51, 58, 44, 46, 42, and 30. He was in the game for that many plays each game, and his corresponding target counts were 2, 7, 6, 1, 5, and 6, and those aren't bad target counts for him. I mean, those are actually pretty solid target counts for Torrey Smith. But week 8 through 11, he was injured with a knee injury, and when he came back in week 12, his snap counts after that were 13, 9, 2, 0, 9, and 20. He had 20 snap counts in the game versus the Saints where we were basically phoning it in and no one was really playing. But his target counts in those weeks were 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, and 2. 20 snaps in week 17 and only 2 targets. And I think of those 4 targets after his week 12 return, he only caught 1 pass. So I'm very, very confused as to what exactly the team was doing. We weren't playing him, and when we were playing him, we weren't targeting him. And when we were targeting him, only 25% of those he actually caught. I'm actually very, very confused as to what the situation was there. I don't know what was going on there. But let me show you a tweet here from Jordan Rodriguez. She was responding to a tweet announcing that the Panthers are going to be picking up Torrey Smith's tender. I'll go through the whole tweet right here. It says, recovered from knee injury, had surgery in season last year. Veteran/guiding presence in locker room after Panthers lost Ryan Khalil, TD, Peppers, Adams, and Munderland. Will work and complement Demore Samuel Wright. From Herney Rivera's perspective, easy decision to make. Now let's break down this tweet here, and keep in mind, this is her interpretation of what she heard from, her reporting and like what the perspective is in the front offices of the Panthers. Recovered from knee injury, parentheses, had surgery in season last year. In what way does that make the process of signing a guy even easier? Like, I just want to imagine this was the conversation between Marty Herney and Coach Rivera. Coach is like, hey Marty, I'm thinking about bringing back Torrey Smith next year. Marty's like, okay, might be a good idea, but why are you thinking that, Coach? Ron, why are you thinking we should bring back Torrey Smith? Well, he got injured, right? Yeah. Then he had surgery, right? Yeah, and? Oh, that's it. He just had surgery on his knee, and I think we should bring him back. And Marty's like, no. I'm saying, and why have we not already gone to the closet and got those big oversized checks and wrote $5 million on it and gone ahead and handed it to him in a press conference? I don't know why we're having this conversation still, Coach. A guy just came off of injury in the middle of the season? That's the perfect reason. That's one of the top 3 reasons to bring him back. Second point, veteran/guiding presence in the locker room after losing Ryan Khalil, TD, Peppers, Adams, and Munderland? Explain to me what kind of veteran/guiding presence Captain Munderland had in the locker room. If I remember correctly, in 2017, didn't he make it a very public point of publicly complaining about not getting enough playing time because Shaq Thompson was staying in passing situations like on 3rd down and whatnot, and it was reported and then confirmed that he walked out of practice over it? Now, he apologized and whatnot, but I'm still confused about what exactly was Captain Munderland's veteran/guiding presence on the team last year. Now, I won't put too much credence on stats here because, you can be the greatest player in the world, but still not be a really great leader. Leadership is earned, not given. There are a lot of guys who are very, very talented, not just in football, but at whatever they do, whatever their chosen profession is, but they're better off as a loner or just not really great at being a leader of men or being a leader of their peers or whatever, and that's 100% fine. But it don't hurt to be actually good at what you do. And just for reference, the last time I can tell that Captain Munderland had a really good season was back in 2012 and 2013, where he had back-to-back seasons with 2 interceptions and both were pick sixes. I mean, 2012 he had, 9 passes defended, 12 in 2013, 59 and 77 tackles respectively. Those were good seasons, but going down from his 3 years in Minnesota, those weren't all that great of seasons, honestly. And 2017 was not good. And just this past season, you tell me just how good Captain Munderland is. And like I said, I'm not in the locker room. I don't work for the Panthers, so I don't know exactly what his impact was in the locker room. But just making an assumption here, and keep in mind, I am 0 for 1 on Torrey Smith assumptions so far this year. You'd have to go down a pretty long list of names before I say, hold up, I think Captain Munderland is a bigger veteran / guiding presence in the locker room than that guy. And the last point she made here was will work in compliment to Moore, Samuel, and Wright. But that point right there is a little bit misleading to me, and I've heard all of it. I've heard all the complaints from people on my comments, on Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, everywhere. Everyone's saying, wait, why are we paying all this money to a wide receiver 4? Like, why are we picking up his tender to be the 4th option in the receiving game? No. Those people have it all wrong. They are completely off base here because DJ Moore, Jarius Wright, and Curtis Samuel, they're good. Those are good young guys, and I respect them a lot. But Torrey Smith is not the 4th option in the receiving game. No. Greg Olsen, Ian Thomas, and a guy named Christian McCaffrey are guys I would put even ahead of Torrey Smith. So for me, Torrey Smith is actually the 7th option. He's the 7th receiving option on the team in my eyes. You tell me in the comments below, between the names Torrey Smith, Jarius Wright, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Greg Olsen, Ian Thomas, and Christian McCaffrey, rank those 7 names in the amount of confidence you have that if a play call was made where one of those guys was the first read or the main read on a play, that they would make a positive play on the ball, and who you want to make a play on 3rd down or to get a touchdown if you're down 5 points in a game. You let me know which one of those guys you feel the most confident with Cam targeting. I mean, will work in compliment to Moore, Samuel, and Wright. It is a compliment for Torrey Smith to be put in the same sentence as Moore, Samuel, and Wright, let alone Christian McCaffrey and Greg Olsen. Look, Torrey Smith is not bad. He's not a bad receiver. I think he can bring value to a team. The only question is how much value and at what price. If the team's going to potentially spend up to $5 million on a mentor, I mean, $5 million, if you really want some mentorship, spend the $5 million to get Michelle Obama to speak to your team before a game. Get Elon Musk or Bill Gates, or maybe even his counterpart, Tim Apple, to come through and talk to the team before a game or in the preseason or during training camp. I mean, spend that $5 million to buy a bunch of posters to put in the locker room like cats on trees saying, hang in there. Those kind of things. Those that motivate and inspire me. But jokes aside, I just don't understand this move. Obviously, it's not for me to understand. I'm not the GM. I'm not the coach. I'm not a position coach. I'm not the guys in the locker room. Maybe these guys in the locker room really do, feed off of Torrey Smith. And don't get it twisted. I'm not someone who's always been hard on Torrey Smith. When the news first came down that Torrey was going to be added to the team, I said he was a good addition to the team. And I even made a point to make several videos commending him for, him being so outspoken about social issues and getting involved in the community, doing a lot of things in the Charlotte area for, disenfranchised people and that kind of stuff. And the one and only question I've ever gotten answered by Bill Voth during his Grill Bill sessions was a question to him talking about Torrey Smith and his impact in the locker room and, talking about social issues and whether or not, the guys are going to be, flocking to him, whether they see it as a distraction. And Bill said the guys really liked him for that and that he was doing a lot of work in the area and that you can expect even more from Torrey Smith. And that is a huge positive. My only question is, did the team sign Torrey Smith to be a mentor or to be an actual, integral part of the passing game? And for me, this only confirms the team is going to use one of their valuable draft picks on a wide receiver. This is a little bit disappointing, but at this point, it's kind of expected. The team isn't really the biggest, splashiest free agent team, especially in the offseason. Eric Reed was a splash. That was in the middle of the season, which I guess is even a bigger splash. But we're not all that splashy in free agency. I just have to see what the number is. How much is he getting paid to be a mentor on the team? Now, if he goes out there this year and has a great year, I mean, I don't know what exactly a great year would be for the 7th receiving option on the team. I mean, maybe it could be partially because we're not 100% sure if Curtis Samuel stays healthy all season long. I mean, he's been a little bit injury prone. Or, you know, if Greg Olsen goes down again, we can still have another option in the receiving game. Not a tight end, but still a guy that we can throw the ball to. And Greg Olsen is a strong receiving threat. So it could be more of an insurance kind of policy. And you also do get that added, you know, locker room presence and whatnot. But like I was getting at, if Torrey Smith does go out and has a good year, I guess depending on how you define a good year for his position, then I will be the first to come up here and say I was wrong. Because the upside of me being wrong is that the team saw a positive out of Torrey Smith. It's just that looking at the numbers, looking at the production of the last 3 years, I just really don't see why this move was made. And I mean, if he got restructured so that he was making like $2 million this year, that's cool with me. $2 million, $3 million, that's cool. But as it stands right now, Torrey Smith is the 10th highest paid player on the Carolina Panthers. Where it stands right now, it looks like a very, very strange move. Now, there's still time. Free agency is still coming up on the 13th. I doubt it. This just seems like we're going to be playing for the draft now. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about this move? I've said what I had to say. I mean, you let me know. You rank those 7 receiving options on the team. But you let me know what your head's out of this, because I want to know what the Panther Nation is feeling about this move. I hope I'm wrong. I 100% hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm 0 for 2, 0 for 3 on Torrey Smith predictions here. And that will be okay. That's actually a best case scenario. Like I said, man, let me know your thoughts on the comments below. You already know to do that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Being told y'all I been the man. Being told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.